You ready, missus?
I am, yes.
Let's do this. Milano, here we come.
Thank you. I love flying, I really do. I'm such a dork.
It's a nice room, wouldn't it? That'll do nicely. What do you think?
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Welcome. We are in Italy, in Milan to be exact.
Right, not exactly in Milan. We was actually explaining this. Where are we in?
Malpensa.
Malpensa, which is just top left of Milan, isn't it? Right, we was up at 5 o'clock this morning. It's been a long day already. And we flew here. It's only an hour and 50-minute flight, isn't it, from Stansted?
With Ryanair.
With Ryanair.
Fine.
But Fiamma have flown us in here, along with a few of our colleagues from the Caravan Writers Guild, and we are going to get a tour of Fiamma's headquarters and hopefully a look round their factory tomorrow. Although I have been told I'm not going to be able to film, but I'll see what I can film for you.
I'll see what we can get.
Isn't it? And they've got a full day packed for us tomorrow. They've also got tonight packed for us as well. We was out at the cafe for lunch. Yeah. We're going to go and grab a beer in a minute, and then we're off to Lake Como. We have never been to Lake Como.
No, and we've got a very fancy meal planned as well, apparently.
So we're on the back of the bus. We've got a beer and we cake.
It's like being back at school again. Sharing a beer up the back of the bus. Cheers. Campus day.
But this is pretty, isn't it? This is a gorgeous location. So stunning. We're going to have an hour's mooch around town, and then we're going to go up for dinner in a restaurant over that way, I believe.
So there we are, Lake Como. Beautiful, huh?
Gorgeous.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So nice. So nice to see everywhere you look as well.
And the weather, the temperature is beautiful.
We're having a little mooch, and we've come away from the lake and in towards the city centre, and we found the most beautiful cathedral. So pretty. And this area here is as busy as it gets according to Google Maps.
So after a wander around town, we headed to the restaurant they booked for dinner, Juliet al Lago, which was very popular, had a live DJ playing some great tunes, and had a fabulous view over Lake Como. The food was great too, with bruschetta for starters, then a lovely rustic Italian pizza, followed by an amazing risotto dish. A second DJ came on, still playing some awesome tunes, and we enjoyed drinking wine and chatting the night away.
Good morning. We have got an action-packed day ahead. I don't think we're coming back to the hotel room until 11 o'clock tonight. I've just been talking to the kids. They've got school today. I feel awful being away when they've got school, but they're big enough to look after themselves. I'm making sure they've got a healthy breakfast. I left everything they needed for that, and they're already up and showered and ready for the day, thank goodness. I've hopped on the hotel Wi-Fi because the reception in this room isn't very good, and I've been doing like a data call to the boys, doing it over WhatsApp. I've engaged my Surfshark because, as you know, we've had this conversation before, I don't trust public Wi-Fis. Surfshark is a VPN, that's a virtual private network. And what it does is encrypts my data that I'm sending from my phone up to the internet. And that protects it from baddies out there, cyber criminals, and also it stops big corporations getting more information than I want to give them. The kids, when we're traveling, have their own favourite feature. They love the fact that Surfshark can mask their IP address. And if you don't know what an IP address is, that's the physical location of your phone. So they can say, if we're in Spain or somewhere, that actually we're in the UK, and that allows them to access the accounts that we've already got, like our Disney Plus and our Netflix, and they can carry on watching any series that they're already into. Harry's really looking forward to the fact that if he masks his IP address back to the UK this summer, he should be able to access the England matches for the football. We don't only use Surfshark when we're travelling, I also use it when I'm out and about at home too. If you think Surfshark is something you'd like to try, maybe to keep your identity and your data safe on the internet, or maybe to mask your IP address so you can access international content, use the link in the description, and if you add the code Radford, you're going to get 4 months extra free. Thanks Surfshark. Now it's time for coffee and maybe a little bit of breakfast.
Morning. Breakfast was, of course, continental, with a selection of cheese, meats, bread, toast, cereals, fruit, croissants and pastries galore, and a choice of yogurts.
Breakfast was a couple of boiled eggs and a piece of cheese and coffee this morning.
That's my shirt. Hey, it's a new shirt, it's not a Ralphie. And Lynn's is looking gorgeous, look at her.
I went shopping for my niece's birthday a couple of weeks and went into River Island, which is not a shop I would ever consider going in for me. Fell in love with this dress.
It's beautiful.
So I went back and forth.
So after breakfast, we all met outside where we got collected by a couple of minibuses and driven a few minutes up the road to the showroom. Firstly, we were shown around the room where they had the full range of awnings and all the products that Fiamma make on display. They also gave us a sneak peek of their new Caravan Store rail-mounted awning that will go into production shortly. We were then taken upstairs where Charles, the co-managing director, alongside his cousin, gave us a brief history of the family business, which was created at the end of the Second World War in 1945 by his grandparents and led for a long time after his grandfather's death by his grandmother. He covered their current product ranges, which are awnings, bike racks and other camping comfort accessories. They're very proud of their Italian roots, and of all the products they produce, 85% are created in-house. They also own more than 150 patents, have been in the global market since 1978, which is still growing, and they attend more than 50 shows worldwide each year. We're then driven a few minutes up the road to the head office and new R&D facility. Did you know Fiamma means flame? Well, as we entered, we could see some of the history of Fiamma on display, including a couple of their early cooking hobs. Whilst we got a complete tour of the manufacturing site, we weren't able to film much of this, but here are a few clips from their corporate video. Next, Charles was proud to show us the new extension they'd recently had built where the racking was all automated.
It's really interesting hearing the plans for expansion over the next 5 to 10 years. At the moment, this area is used for storage of all the products, but going forwards, they're hoping that this area will be just for awnings. It wasn't me, I didn't touch it. And then the other components will be at the new factory. Oh, it's making me feel dizzy. Don't look up. Yeah. A really good space-saving system that they have is that all the racking can move sideways, so they only need to have one gap that can be moved, so they can get the cherry pickers and the pickup trucks or whatever they use the technology in. Forklift trucks. Is it? Yeah, it's got a fork. So they can get their forklift trucks in between and access different areas. They can actually store 14,000 individual awnings in here.
Next, Charles took us through to the spare parts department, which again was on automated trays. Did you know that Fiamma stocks spare parts for all their products for at least 10 years, sometimes even longer? And when dealers order the spare parts, they guarantee to ship them within 48 hours of receiving the order. Here you can see a tray with spare parts coming down to fulfill an order. We were then taken through to the R&D department, but I'm sure you can appreciate I can't show you a great deal here as we need to respect their privacy over the new products they're working on. But I can tell you they had some awesome looking 3D printers test printing some prototype components. And for the last stop on our tour, we were taken to the boardroom, where we were given the opportunity to ask Charles questions. And I must say, what a lovely guy he is. And in fact, everyone was at Fiamma. Thanks, guys. Well, that was exciting. We had about an hour Q&A with Charles, didn't we? And they told us some exciting things they're working on in the future that I can't share with you, but real forward-thinking company, isn't it?
Very interesting.
Yes. But now we're going to lunch. For lunch, they booked a restaurant nearby, and we enjoyed a selection of antipasti meats with mozzarella and a Russian salad. We then enjoyed crab cakes and an amazing octopus, and for the main course, we had risotto with a creamy tomato pasta. The food and the wine were delicious.
Wow, that is delicious. The risotto is incredible, and the seafood so tasty. I think the risotto ones are.
Oh, we needed a power nap after that long leisurely lunch with a couple of glasses of red wine, the most silkiest red smooth wine I've had in a long time. We needed a bit of a freshen up or an nana nap, I don't know, one or the other. But now we're going off to Milan for the afternoon.
Right, let's go to Milan.
Let's go to Milan.
A lovely exploring temperature. We arrived by bus in the centre of Milan, and our first stop off is this castle, the Castle of Milan. There's actually been a fortified site here since 1368.
You got a photographer now?
Yeah. We should always had our photographer. Smiling with the girls.
Carl and a few of the group were getting approached by street sellers like this guy here. You're getting hassled there, Carl?
Yeah, I know the thing. You just don't want to engage, really. Yeah.
No, you don't.
As soon as you do, it's like the slippery slope.
We've just taken a walk up from the castle, and there are a series of boards celebrating 160 years of the Red Cross, from photos from the war all the way through to more modern times, and actually helped during the pandemic.
That must be a good ice cream shop with a queue like that. Huh?
Oh, so refreshing.
Is it?
Especially lemon.
Yeah. Can't come to Italy and not get gelato, right?
Right, I hear you. I'm stuffed from lunch still.
I'm squeezing this in, but I always say the sweet section of your tummy is different.
No.
So I'm really sweet after the lunch. So.
Go for it.
We were all a little bit confused why Starbucks was on the tour itinerary. Look at that building. It is stunning. It was originally an Italian bank, and they stored the gold underground. And then it was a great big post office, and now it's a Starbucks, and apparently inside is as special as outside. So of course we had to go in and take a look, and I've got to say we were both blown away with what was inside. As we walked through the doors, you could see how very special this place was. The camera really isn't doing it justice, guys. There are only 6 Starbucks reserve roasteries like this in the world. The smell in here is incredible. I don't drink a lot of coffee, but love the smell.
Right here, in this awesome looking machine, I believe they are roasting the beans.
It's like the Wonka factory. It looks amazing, the bright colours and the noises. It is amazing.
And right there's a machine bagging up the coffee and sending it down the production line. And then there's this machine, whatever that does.
Ouch! These are from the Galapagos coffee beans. €50 for a little bag.
We'll not be having them then.
Put those down. Let's leave. We've come into the square in front of the main cathedral, and there is a live orchestra tuning up behind me. We've just wandered through Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II Arcade, and this area is packed full of designer clothes. It's absolutely glorious. It's from the 19th century. The architecture is beautiful, and the glass roof is just glorious. This must be the most expensive set of shops I've ever been in. And I've just been told that behind me is a hotel, and it's one of the only 7-star hotels in the world. It's the area with the balconies around. I quite like the idea of staying in a 7-star hotel, Steve. Let's go and explore.
I don't. No. Next on the itinerary, Carl wanted to take us to the Campari shop to buy everyone a drink before going out for dinner again this evening. It was pretty busy in there, so after ordering a huge round, we just hung out by the bar.
So this is probably the home of Campari. It's beautiful. It feels really elegant and sophisticated. My parents used to drink Campari with their friends in the 80s, so it completely bypassed me. Mine is with Prosecco, and I've tried it compared to the one that Steve has, which is a lot more fake. This is nice and smooth.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
The Galleria di Camparino, where we've just had the Campari drinks, looks out onto the Duomo of the cathedral. Now, I've just read that it took over 600 years to build the cathedral, and the last of the detail was added in 1965.
For dinner this evening, they booked us into Ravello 18, a small family-run restaurant serving traditional Italian food. We headed in, confirmed our reservation, then headed upstairs and to the back of the restaurant where they'd seated us on a couple of tables.
Good evening from Ravello 18. I'm not really sure what food is available on the menu. I think it's probably been pre-booked again. But I know it's going to be delicious. This has been more of a food tour than a work tour, I think. Food and wine. There's been a lot of wine as well. We've ordered this to share.
Yeah, you're not eating that on your own.
Oh, lovely.
Vegetables, and I'm coming with a hot dish.
Fantastic. Empty plate says it all.
That was really delicious. I'm so pleased it was shared rather than had coffee. It's definitely been a food tour. So I really did not need any food tonight, so we shared the starters and the mains. But I really wanted a tiramisu because we didn't have one last time we were in Italy. But the waiters talked us into having a cheesecake as well, so we're going to share cheesecake and...
And here it is. Legendary cheesecake. Oh.
Maybe more towards me.
Oh.
Thank you.
And the tiramisu. Thanks, buddy. He did say
He did
I
say.
was going to get 2 tiramisus, and he said, no, you need to try the cheesecake. So we're trying the cheesecake.
So you have to get all the way down to the bottom so you have a bit of everything in your...
Slightly. That is the nicest tiramisu I've ever had. But the cheesecake's meant to be real special. Right, let's give that a go.
You didn't want a dessert, so if you need...
I don't normally go for dessert.
There you go, there's that
Bloody hell. Wow.
After dinner, Nigel, our guild secretary, got up to say a few words and to thank Charles and all the staff at Fiamma for their wonderful hospitality.
Thank you.
We then left the restaurant and went back to our coach, where we said farewell to Charles,
Night night.
drove back to our hotel, headed down to the bar where we enjoyed another beer with Carl and the gang before calling it a night. It's been an awesome day. We're going to bed. I'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. Let's go get some breakfast.
Oh, nobody's here. What are you having?
I'll do some breakfast because we're probably going to skip lunch because of flight times. So.
I went for peaches as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Well.
Yeah, right. Ooh, yogurt. Oh, and I had some of that yesterday. That was awesome. One Americano for Lindsay, one espresso for me. Cheers, my love.
Cheers.
We didn't do a tour of the room, my love.
Oh.
And we should have done it when it was tidy, but look, it's messy now.
We're mid-pack, so it is automatically going to be a little bit messy.
Right, absolutely.
So you come in through the main door, and to your immediate right is a nice wardrobe.
Yay.
Don't forget to take your shirt.
Absolutely.
And a safe. Into the main bedroom. We have somewhere to put a suitcase, a desk, a lovely big bed. Actually, it was 2 single beds, and mine was quite solid.
Right. There you go.
Nice doors out onto our own little terrace.
Yep.
And we did let a mosquito in the very first night, but we trapped him in the bathroom and then I killed him in the shower the next morning.
TV here.
And into a bathroom we have a bath and the most amazing shower I've ever had in a hotel.
Shower's good.
It was really good, really powerful.
And 2 toilets.
No one's a bidet.
There you go.
There you go, that's your talk. Right, it's almost time to go and get the shuttle now, back to the airport and head home.
Big thanks to the Caravan Writers Guild for organising this trip.
And for Fiamma for being absolutely the best hosts. We've eaten so much food this week. Eaten and drink.
Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and if you have, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not.
See you next time.